Good morning, everybody. How are we? Whew, Friday. Got tomorrow. So tomorrow, welcome to the 10-day challenge. Today we're at day 7. This day is going fast. So I'm just from the feedback I'm getting, I'm feeling like you guys are just really loving these little snippets, just taking a little bit at a time. And so tomorrow, what am we going to talk about? Look at my list. We're going to talk about people and faces because peeps are a little intimidating, but they're really not once you look at, because it's just parts, right? Boxes, triangles, and circles, and a couple of lines, and we got this, right? So, anyway, let me know that you're here. I'd love to say hi to you, and we'll get going today. So today we're going to do call out boxes, but I'm going to wait for a couple of people to jump on, and I thought maybe just jump over and see how is it this one? Yes, there we go. How Inktober is coming. Okay, Fuzzy. Remember, I said Fuzzy was really a challenge. Like I don't know what I'm. Anyway, so Carolyn Vera gave me the great idea to. I was starting to like do your path is straight and then never fuzzy. So I was kind of going down that road, but I ended up deciding like it wasn't working for me. So I ended up going down the road where Esau, or where Jacob made his arm fuzzy, right? And he did not recognize him, for his hands were hairy like those of his brother Esau. So he proceeded to bless him. So so I thought that would. Hey, Josanne, how are you this morning? So um, so anyway, finally did that, and then today was open. Have you seen Jan Blocker's? Hers is amazing. Okay, her fuzzy was amazing. So definitely you should go check that out in the Facebook group or on Instagram. So her fuzzy yesterday was about fuzzy slippers, and his mercies were new every morning. So just love the way her brain works. And so where I did open like the ground opened up, she did open like churches open. So I just love the way her brain works, and how she makes her visuals work. So I'm very love looking at seeing what she's going to come up with every day. So she's so creative. Just love her work. Um, so anyway, I thought maybe I might just show you how I did the this psalm thing, as we wait for a couple of people to jump on, and then we're going to get started. So, I say this every day. I think that I'll actually get to 30 minutes today, but we'll just see. I just love this time with you guys, and it's really hard for me to like say, I gotta go, gotta go. But today I gotta go. Got some meetings and such. Got some schoolwork to do. So yeah, what's up with that? So, but if you ever wanted to draw this earthquake, so basically we're just drawing a series of zigzag lines, right? And then we're drawing straight lines down, and we're making these darker than these. And like, okay, blah, 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 blah. You just lost me. I get that. So hey, Janelle, how are you? So thanks for joining us today. Appreciate that. So very quickly, I'm just gonna pop on over, and so so remind me at the end. I have a problem that you guys can help me with. It's really important that I don't forget that. So, where are my pens? Not really organized today. It was one of those taking care of the folks' medicine, and like, oh wow, yeah, it's time to zip downstairs. So, all right. So let me do overhead. There we go. So if you're gonna do an earthquake, oh, I am not liking any of these pens at my fingertips. Well, let's just do the big one. So, so the deal is that it's important that the new one, the new zigzag comes out farther than the old zigzag, and 3 zigzags are fine. And then it can come out this way, and they can kind of. So that's an earthquake right there. And so then I'm going to take my thinner pen, my Sharpie pen, and basically from there I'm just going to draw lines. And so now we have created the clipped edges, right? And so And the reason that it's important that something juts out further is then that gives a place for this line to stop to create the cliff edge. And then you just start filling in. And I use some kind of crosshatch. Like my favorite go-to is the lines, just like that. And then the darker, the further back, um, like on this side, you want to make those darker. So again, maybe that I'm gonna. So so you could do that, or you could do a crosshatch, or you could then come in and start doing diagonal lines one way or both ways. And obviously, the more you do it, the darker it's going to get. But so if you ever needed to draw an earthquake, because I'm sure that's like on your list, like, gosh, I wish I knew how to draw an earthquake. Well, now you knew. So, and you're just going to continue to draw your lines, but darker is better. So you could use my, anyway, I'm not going to take up the whole time. But so you see, I want this, probably this one, because it's further back, to be darker than this fissure. So I know that's probably, anyway, I'm just being in a hurry. But shading is important in the darkness. So anyway, so that's how you draw an earthquake. I knew you'd want to know that. So, all right, let's get started with today. And today we are going to do, well, first of all, I just want to go over the process. Here's mine. Instead of doing PowerPoints, we're doing it this way. So, we're spending a lot of time talking about visual elements, but I really just want to reiterate that. Hey, good morning, Brenda. So, how's those cows? They doing okay? I'm kind of traumatized though, even now that I know what a steer is. So, anyway, um, just to go over the process, it's really about listening. So it's listening and synthesizing what you're hearing down to paper, and not just writing down, not just from in the ear down to paper. We're synthesizing to figure out what we need to keep, what's important, what's not important. And so we listen, we think, we draw, we write. And at first, it might be just that we listen, we think, we write, we draw, and it might take time to flip those over to the point where we're drawing more than we're writing. Because remember, the process of drawing actually helps us understand what we're learning. So anyway, so there's the process. So today we're going to do call out boxes. So let me just put that there. All right. There we go. We're going to do call out boxes. And call out boxes in my mind are so important in that they really emphasize, and I'm looking for my book and I can't find it. Oh, there it is. It just says to your eye, this isn't directly related, but it's important. And so it's just like an extra little fact. And so here's an example of call out boxes where taste the kindness of the Lord and see it's good. So so I use this call out box. So basically I kind of like a call out box could be a conversation. I like to use this one like for the wow moments, like wow, this was really important, and wow, I got a vision on that one. Could be things are related. Again, you could be with the arrow pointing down, right? And then, or you could put something in quotes. You know, this is just a little more dramatic. You could do squares, but or you could have things related. So call out boxes just sort of say it's related, it's important. Like here, Jesus is the light of the world. So I drew a picture again, the earth and the lamp, right? I'm actually drawing that quite a bit. Maybe it's just my husband's speaking. I don't know. So God was planning a bright future for those who love Him. So it's not a verse, but the plan of salvation was planned from the foundation of the world. And just something else he said that caught me, said, you know, God was planning a bright future. So let's just flip through and find more call out boxes like that one. Yes. So here's a call out box with an arrow. By using our gifts and abilities, whatever you do, Colossians 3:23, whatever you do, work for the Lord. And so I have a call out box saying, we need to work in a kingdom-minded way. So that was just to emphasize it's not a verse, but it's something else. And it could be that, like if you talk about Ephesians, and you could say that, Paul was writing this from prison. So maybe you want to write that in the call out box that he was writing it from prison. Or, we're gonna talk about the book of just trying to figure out Psalms, mostly written by David. Anyway, I'm just throwing that out there. Could be wrong. So salt changes the flavor of food. So there's another. You are the salt of the earth, and salt changes the flavor of the food. Look at this. There's that. So how many times I am drawing the world? This one. You are the light of the world. So anyway, so obviously that is something that's in my quiver. So work. Anyway, my husband did a whole series on work. I read a book about work through Timothy Keller. That was his name. But basically, the whole premise is that, we're all like, oh, work is such a drudge and I hate work. But, what did God do for 6 days before he rested? He worked. So work was even before, it was the creation was work, right? So, and we need to enjoy our work, and we need to work as though we're working for the Lord. And so, God established work in the beginning. So, see, there I go. Paul wrote Philippians from jail. So there's another call out box. And actually, I didn't put circles around it, but do God's work at work. So anyway, so it's just a way to emphasize things in your, just seeing if there's any more call out boxes to really stick out. So this was Dave Simon, he spoke. And so there were several call out boxes. So he was talking about the body. The heart beats 100,000 times, I think, a day, and 2,000 gallons of blood circulate. We have 60 miles of blood vessels. Every second your body produces 25 million new cells. So those are a lot of call out boxes to support his whole talk on fear and God's assurances. So anyway, so let's draw. So anyway, yeah, Tallahassee. So Sandra, Tallahassee. I've never been to South Tallahassee. Oh, and Brenda is totally fine. Just giving you a hard time. So Tallahassee. Ooh, never been there. So are you doing anything fun there? So, all right. It's probably warmer there. It is kind of chilly here. So I feel like maybe I'm like a big wimp and I hate cold. So I feel like maybe I missed the opportunity to get my bulbs in. So, one of the late girls at church, they had, you buy cookies, wrapping paper, of which I don't need any, but they had bulbs. So I thought I'd get bulbs. So now I have all these bulbs I need to plant. I bought the box of 72 bulbs. So I don't even know where I'm going to put 72 bulbs because I have a few flowers in my house. So anyway, but maybe we'll have a warm day next week and make it happen. So let's work on call out boxes. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about, 2 more things, was lettering. I want to talk about different lettering styles and how you deal with problems. So those are going to be my agenda today. So I'm going to just try, and so it's 10:14. So, all right, or not, well, yeah, 10:14. So call out boxes are, again, I'm going to use my bigger, so again, make sure that you write whatever it is you write, and then you draw the circle around it, because I promise if you draw the circle and write, you will not have enough room. If you wanted to relate it to another thing, that's a great way to connect it. That could also be a thought. And then you could, or if somebody made a comment, or, this little pointed tail sort of indicates conversation. Another way to do it, and it doesn't have to be, I tend to always, that could be a call out box, right? If you have a series, you know, you could have them related, something like that. So that, you know, or a series of 3 or 4, you could continue something like that, and then write whatever you have in your box. And if this was the case, I'd probably write and then draw my my call out boxes in pencil before I tried it in ink, because I could just know that I'd probably mess that up. Let's see, if you wanted to give your call out box. So this, so obviously this is what I do sometimes when I have like, oh my gosh, I had an epiphany. So I draw the word wow. Oops. Right? And then I do more of a zigzag. And then then I'll tend to take like 2 or 3 colors and like highlight on the edges to just say, wow, that was a God moment, or that was an epiphany. And, you know, so that's how I do my wows, like, wow, that was really profound. You could do a circle, and you could just do a little loop to get down to whatever you're talking about, you know. So this was the information, and that was your call out box. You could do, and especially if you had like, you know, they had more than one thing, you could relate it and then just connect them all. Don't close your boxes again. So, and that's why, again, do it in pencil first, because sure as the world, if you do it, you're gonna like, inevitably, what I end up doing is like, I end up doing this, and then like, oh, duh. Then, you know, I end up having to do this, and I end up having to close it all in, something like that. Versus if I just do boxes and call outs at the end, it's just gonna make your sketch notes cleaner. So let's see. Is there any other call out boxes? Pretty straightforward. I'll post that in the blog post. I'm a little behind on my blog post, so I'm going to try and catch up and get those done today, because school starts on Monday, and woohoo! Looking at this next class I'm taking, like, oh, I'm going to be busy. So, looks a little intimidating. Looks really intimidating, actually. So I'm getting my doctorate, by the way, in case you didn't know that. So I teach college. Hey, good morning, Lorraine. So anyway, I just know I need to do this. Don't really want to do it, but doing it. Okay. But I am blessed that I can do it. So I'm not I'm not grousing a lot. I'm just grousing a little bit. So all right, so there's call out boxes. So what else do I want to talk to you about? And then I wanted to talk about some lettering styles to practice. So obviously your title, the thicker, the bolder, the better. Your eyes go, oh, we get it, you know. So like if you filled in some letterings with solid, or put a pattern in, but your block variations, let's just go back and again, sometimes I use that brush pen, not necessarily to do calligraphy so much. Sometimes I do, like today, that one I did some calligraphy there. But I tend to not. Like this one I did doubles, and I didn't do a great job, you know, but again, you know, there's no sketch note police. So this one I used the big brush pen, but I just did block lettering, and then as he's talking, I'm coming, and like he's telling stories, then I'm coming in and doing my little serifs, which are the little feet and the hats. Let's see. Like work, that was again, I just drew the basic letters and then came back in and made it thicker. And this one, I used that white Signo pen to come in and just give it some highlights. And again, this is sort of like, I have a feeling that I just saw this font the night before and went, ooh, I'm going to try that tomorrow at church. So you know, that's very Art Deco-y 1920s. Does that really work? It's fine, you know, but maybe is that the best? Um, maybe if I'd have used stenciling kind of lettering, that might have been better. So, let's see. So, all right, but I digress. So obviously, I'm just trying to say the bolder for your titles, but sometimes when you have those subtitles, sometimes doing fun things to um, change it up a little bit. So when we change the medium line, so again, so I'm going to drop, all right, so there we go. All right, and so here's just standard letters, and so I'm just going to pick some letters that have a medium, the E. So everything is here. So there's that. So, but what if we just dropped that, or we rose? Let's do the raising first. So, and again, once you decide if you're going to do it, it's better to take a pencil so all your letters are even. So if we raise that cross line or that midline, we get a totally different effect. And F, all right, let's do the G. So the G here will then go all the way up, right? And the S will be there and here. So it looks totally different. And then you can make them thicker. You could put serifs. You can do anything. But just raising the line or lowering the line just really can create a really dramatic effect. So, all right. So let's try lowering the line. All right. So I'm going to take A. And so we're going to drop that line. So again, this is very Art Deco-y, 1920s. Our H might be a good one. And S. All right, so that's, so again, you might play around with that. So again, wherever you decide your midline is, make sure you draw your pen, and that way you're consistent with where the mid of that letter crosses, and that's just going to just be consistent and just make your eyes be a lot happier. Do you guys have any questions on that lettering? So, nope, okay. Well, if you do, I'll give you a minute anyway. And so I wanted to talk about problems. So what happens when it is coming so fast you don't, I'm going to just come, I'll be switching back and forth to me. Let's just, there we go. So what happens when it's coming so fast and furious that you just can't keep up? And so sometimes maybe that's a cue that you're trying to write too much. And so the other thing that you could do would be, and again, I'm going to do this. I would do this in pencil, but for you to see it. So you know, so maybe I'm going to catch the verse. You know, verse 15, and I'm going to do it in pencil, but then I'm going to write just, or not even in the middle, just maybe up here very briefly, you know, and at least 5 seconds. Maybe, you know, maybe it's the fruits of the spirit. So like, I don't have time to list them all, so I'm just gonna in pencil listen, and I guess that would be verse 22, 1 Thessalonians 5:22. Wants to say the fruits of the spirit. Am I right? I don't know. Let's see. So that's one way. If you're going too fast, you just leave yourself some space and you can come back and write it later. So, oh, you know, it's me. How about, okay, so we are going to go the overhead. So, all right. So, so let's say they're talking about the fruits of the spirit. They're listing it. So you're going to go verse 22. And again, I'm doing this all in pencil, right? And then I'm just going to make myself a note. I'm going to say fruits. And that way I know that I can go back and fill that in. And the same way we're like, oh gosh, I have no idea how to draw that. So maybe, maybe it's easier for the camel to go through the eye of a needle. Like, I don't know how to draw a camel these 5 seconds. I don't want it to look like a giraffe. So again, in pencil, you're just going to write camel, right? And make sure you're going to leave yourself space to draw a camel. And you can go back and finish it in later, because I try and get everything done, because, could be you don't have great reception on your cell phone, and you can't go to the noun project and look up camel, so it could be any number of things. But so for those things, just that's why it's having a really important thing to have a pencil, so you can just kind of write in and go back and finish it later. So what if you mess up? And actually, I messed up, and I just saw it the other day, and I'm like, and actually it turned out okay. So I'm going to just look really quick, really quick, really quick. Elders. So I messed up the word elders. I mean, sometimes my spelling, sometimes I just leave it. Like, oh, well, I think actually some of the believers, as one of these believers is not spelled correctly. Believing. Oh, yeah, here we go. So this is one way. Is that I just wrote the little E in instead of like, oh, I could, and you're just starting out, and so, but it's fine. It's really fine. Are you all going to think less of me? So, all right, I'm reading comments. So Brenda says, I hate lettering. I used to do sign certificates calligraphy for people. Oh, you hate lettering and you used to do that? Wow. I had to relearn to write. Oh, after brain trauma. Glad I can write out on concentrating, and doing anything beyond printing makes me anxious. Need to draw practice. Yes, but it's fine. Oh my gosh. So, Brenda, okay, next time I'm in Tennessee, we have got to get together. I'd love to meet you. Anyway, I want to meet everybody, and I'm having lunch with Carolyn next week. I'm really excited. So her daughter lives here, so we're gonna get together. I'm very excited. Anyway, I digress. I am like, yeah, this is a squirrel. And I'm there. So that's one way to fix it. You just put just squeeze it in. That's fine. This one, I think I ended up writing the S first and went, oh. So, so the way I fixed that, and so I'm just gonna find oh, here's a good white sheet of paper. So this is how I would use that pen. So, and so I frequently make this error when I wanted to, I meant to make that a capital H. And I could do that, and that's fine. But if I really wanted to make it more of a capital H, then I'm going to use my white Sigma pen, and I'm just going to color it in. And I'm going to let it dry really well. That's the key. You got to let it dry really well. Or, sometimes if I'm writing if I should write, I don't know, well, anyway, so if I wrote, you start writing and you realize, oh, that should have been a this instead of a that, then I'm just going to use my white Sigma pen. I'm going to let it dry. Nope, still not dry. Make sure you let it dry, and then come back and then write the right letter. So, or sometimes, just trying to think of an example. My brain is a little blank this morning. I don't know what's going on, but it is a little blank. Or if you, had a box and you were got outside the box, sometimes just take a little white Sigma pen, coloring it up. You can also carry some stickers with you, like some of those file label stickers, and you can just cut out and paste over, which I have done, although nothing sticks out like, oh, you did a little sticker there. But that's another way that I fix things, is I just carry some white stickers with me. and the other point is I feel like I missed the whole point of the go bag yesterday. The red bag yesterday was, the whole point of the bag is you got to be ready. And if you're running around on Sunday mornings trying to, oh, where's my markers and where's my this and where's my that, you're going to be late. And so you want to be late, especially for being the pastor's wife. I tend to be late anyway. But running around looking for my stuff is not a choice. So it all has to be in the bag and ready to go. And that way, I just, it's just your art bag. And so anytime you have the opportunity to do art, everything's in the bag and ready to go. So and that's why it's so important for me to have my art bag, and so I am prepared. So let's see. And then the other, while I'm here, and then the other two things I can talk about, and I talked about this before already. And one of these days I will maybe make another little video on how I fix this when the speaker, whoops. So when the speaker stops and like you still got space. So I don't know what I'm going to do. So more than likely, maybe I'll find a verse from this chapter and write it in here. And he skipped around. And so we went from verse 2 to 3, 4 to 5, and all of a sudden we're at 10. So I might, and he's like, I didn't skip. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you did, because otherwise I would have got him. So there's 5 verses there, so maybe I'll fill in. And you can see I didn't sign blessings in my name because I feel like I had so much space. So, or you're like, I got nothing. You could just totally fill it up with doodles, like doodle designs, maybe. So if I was going to do that, I would probably come in and do that, follow those lines. And then maybe this could be a whole line for the spirals, and this could be crosshatches. And then you're filling up the page. So you could do a doodle. Oops, there we go. You do a doodle. You could find some more verses. You could highlight a verse. You could find a quote. There's a lot of things you could do to fill up a page, especially if you're going to publish. And then it's going to look finished, and everybody's going to go, oh, wow. So, but that happens sometimes. And then, back to me. There we go. Sometimes the speaker is just terrible, right? Sometimes the speaker shouldn't be speaking, has no idea, just rambling, right? And you're just like, oh, okay. I was here, I was there. And so just, it's fine. Just do your best, or just convert to just start doodling, keeping your pen. I'm a proponent of keeping your pen busy. So, so if you're just over here on the side, just doing this little doodle on the side, and sometimes when they're engaged in the next point, like, oh, great, then you can, your pen is automatic, your pen and your brain are engaged, so you can automatically start writing down the next point. And if it's just, my husband speaks for 6 months, and then he's off for 6 months, and the other pastors speak. And so a lot of those Sundays we will go visit other churches because my husband feels like he's got a ministry. He doesn't feel like he's got a ministry connecting with other small churches, and then we find ways to do outreach and stuff together. So it's just great because I feel like we're, as churches, just way too siloed. And so he's just kind of bridging that gap, and it's making good headway and just meeting some lovely, lovely people that you probably would never meet otherwise. So it's just great, and getting involved in some projects you would never have done otherwise. So, but some of these speakers, it's like, I'm just so lost. I don't even know where you're going, right? Okay, I'm not the pastor so much, but I've just been in some, like, I have no idea what to do. So you just stop. Or I just start doodling, and I just, just keep your pen moving. That's the thing. And so that's why I think it's really important to have and again, probably something I'd put in the back of my book would be, some patterns to like get my brain going. So here's some really simple patterns, spirals and circles, crosshatches, things like that. I would just repeat them, and that's fine. And then all of a sudden, when you hear something like worth writing down or drawing or whatever, then you can stop, draw it, and then go back to your doodles. So that's So sometimes the speaker's horrible. It's not you, it's the speaker. So, or if they're just going so fast, again, if you got get lost, you just stop until you get to a point where you can, start again and just jump in. So if they're going too fast and you can't keep up, then maybe it's saying that maybe you don't have to get all 52 points. Maybe you just get the ones that you think are most important. So, but I think the whole thing is keep your pen moving, and that's the biggest thing. Have a whiteout pen, an eraser, and then and a pencil, so you can write in how to draw a camel if you can't think about how to do that the second, or if it's more of a, how do I draw grace or faith, or like, so you need to think about it a little bit. Then it's, just um, it just gives you choices. So, all right. 35 minutes. So look at me. Okay, so any questions? If you have any questions, leave the comments and I will address them tomorrow. So tomorrow is day 8. So we're not going to meet on Sunday. So I'm going to show you a new layout to try tomorrow. Or you can just still use last Sunday's layout with you're just going to draw pictures on 1/4 of the page and write on 3/4 of the page. So that totally works. But I do have another layout I'm going to show you. Okay, so here's my problem. Here's my problem. This is my problem. There we go. So from the Bible Journaling Ministry Conference last week, I had 3 of these giveaways. I had the pink, the blue, and the green. And so I have contacted all the winners, and the pink book is gone and the green book is gone, but I have this blue book, and I've written the person twice and they have not written me back. So I decided, between now and I think we'll just do it Monday, give people the weekend. So if you registered for the Bible Journaling Conference and attended, what I like you to do is I will start a new thread, and I'm just reading your comments. Crystal, welcome. Thanks for your comments. So anyway, so I will start a new thread with this picture, right? And so what I want you to do is leave a comment about who was your favorite session other than me. So I'm sure I was your very favorite session, but who did you enjoy, and maybe a why, because I'd love to just pass that on to the actual speakers of what they did. So if you could just tell me which session other than mine that you attended and why you loved it, just really, really simple couple words. I will randomly draw from everybody. So let's just say I will draw on Tuesday, what's the next week? Tuesday the 26th. I'll draw I'll draw in the evening of Tuesday the 26th. Occasionally like, what is she doing up there? I'm looking at my calendar. It's on the wall on the other side of my screen. So, so if you went to the conference, so just let me know who you enjoyed, who blessed you, and why, and then I will randomly select someone and I will send this out to you. So this grace book could be yours. So, all right. So Crystal, all right. So you live in North Carolina. Love North Carolina. So, all right. All right. Well, that's all I got today. And I'm going to zip away and get on with the rest of my day, because I bet you have things to do today too as well. So I hope you have an amazing day. So tomorrow we're going to draw people and faces, and probably spend quite a bit of time on that. And then and we'll show you the new layout that you could consider trying for Sunday. And we'll go from there. So anyway, hope you guys are having an amazing day. And I will see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Bye.